Back to another video, trying to get a weekly upload schedule going on. But today what we're going to be working on is checking to see if I have the right head gasket for my 1995 Gen 5.5 big block Chevy 502. Now with these engines, they tend to have a heating issue and an issue with if you have the wrong gasket, and it's only on the Gen 5s, where I believe if it's this particular hole, where if you have a hole in the front of the gasket, basically the water doesn't flow through and it basically flows through the heads in the wrong direction or something like that. And I've literally had such a hard time trying to get this engine to cool down the entire time I've had it. I have a double electric 12-inch fan set up with a 3-core aluminum radiator. I have really good water pipes and hoses and all that. I mean, just the whole 9 yards with this engine, and it still overheats at idle. And when I originally rebuilt the engine, I could have sworn that I did get the right head gasket, but that was, I think, about a year and a half ago when I actually torn this engine down last time and was actually inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that project. Me and my dad are going to hop to that, hopefully get done a little bit quicker with him helping. But that's what we're going to be checking out today. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know in the comment section below. We're taking just one head off to check to see if the head gasket is different. Valve covers are off, so gotta get the exhaust and a few other things. Intake is off. This is the inside of the engine. Everything still looks good from last time we were this into it. Really pleased with that. Other head is finally off, since I want to hopefully over the weekend get all these wires tucked, kind of clean up the engine bay, make it look a little bit better. We're just going to be able to kind of get everything looking a lot better in the engine bay in general. Already ordered the correct water pump for the engine, which will solve the issue of the overheating. Hopefully that should be the only thing left on this engine to really get it running good, apart from a few things here and there. But those are the heads, all the lifters, arms, and everything else for it. So next video you guys see will be hopefully everything back in and looking a lot better. What I'm looking for is there is a block off right here. Below this gasket there's a hole on both sides, in the front and the back. On these Gen 5 engines you're supposed to have the block off, and this is only on specific gaskets, which, like we thought before, we do have on this engine, but it was better to double check it. Engine is running pretty rich. This is all the pre-ignition stuff that's been on it, so we've been tweaking with the carburetor, plan on doing that later. But for right now, the main issue of the heating isn't in the head gasket, so now we are still stumped at what the issue could be. So we're going to get this put back together, and then hopefully we'll be on to solving the next issue or trying to figure this out even more. Well, all this intake and the heads and the valve cover is off. I'm going to try and clean this up and make it look a little bit better. Guys, so after multiple stupid decisions and thinking, for those of you guys that are familiar with this stuff, here is a small block V-belt water pump that you would normally use, and on the 502 that I have, which is a 5th gen, it came with serpentine setups, and it's reverse. So with the V-belt setup, it's spinning opposite compared to what the water is actually grabbing below here. And as you can see, it should be spinning this way if we had an actual one that would work with a V-belt. So that's opposite. So the entire time this car has ever been run, the water pump has literally been maybe 5 to 7% effective compared to what it should be. And that is finally our issue with the 502. So decided to go ahead and take the other heads off and valve covers, clean up the engine bay. In the meantime, I'll get a water pump for the car, and we should be all set.